All right, Daytona. You know what that means. We're one-shotting this. So settings, let's check settings here. I personally do like 16 to 1 here. Again, you can use whatever steering ratio you want. Some people ask me why I don't recommend steering ratios in videos anymore. And the reasoning is if you're doing everything correctly, steering ratio shouldn't matter. The only time steering ratios matter is when you get penalized for going over the limit that you're supposed to be going with your steering. The higher steering ratio penalizes that a little less. So that's why people say use 16 to 1 because they don't know what's good and what isn't. And if you are only going off of what's penalizing you, then yeah, higher steering ratio is better. But hopefully, we're learning some stuff here to where we can make any steering ratio work if we really wanted to. I think the steering offset we keep default here. I think Super Speedways iRacing usually keeps them more or less where they're supposed to be. Front brake bias, I'm going to put 72. This is just not obviously for the qualifying lap, but because we can brake for wrecks better, we can get our pits better with a little bit more front brake. Too much rear brake and we're just going to be spinning out under heavy braking, and then too much front brake, we're going to be locking up, and we don't want to do that. All right, so let's go do our qualifying lap. So we'll do our little trick here. We're going to go fourth gear, and then we're just going to let the car come up to speed on its own. Just full throttling the fourth gear. And we're going to take this all the way to just above 100 miles an hour so we don't get the furled black flag. So once I bring it up to about 101, 105 miles an hour, somewhere in between there, I'll just kind of let off the gas and keep it there. We also want to avoid some of the big bumps on the inside of this apron because that also can add heat where we don't want it. A little too fast. Doesn't really matter. So we're just going to be riding this low speed here up until the middle of this backstretch. I think you can push it a little farther, but I also don't think it matters too much. I'm just going to go at the end of these billboards and then just start bringing the car up to speed. The only thing I'm going to worry about for the next lap is not turning my steering wheel too much and not sliding the tires and not adding any extra heat to any of the tires. So I'm just even going to run like the middle here just so I can hold the steering wheel completely still. Alright, going into turn 1 here. Only thing that we're going to worry about is staying off of the wall so that we don't get dragged by the wall arrow. And then we just want to be very smooth and consistent with our steering. Smooth and consistent with our steering. Very smooth. I'm almost just not even wanting to move the wheel. And as we come off, I'm just going to be smooth back onto it. Top of 3 and 4 here, I'm going to plant my lefts on the seam. Again, don't want to be too close to the wall. And then I'm going to turn down about halfway through the corner so that I can straighten out my car as early as possible. So I'm going to start here. Wait. Once I can kind of start to see the exit a little bit, I'm going to start to turn down. Just very easy. And then so I can straighten out the wheel really early. So now that I straightened out the wheel really early, that hopefully got us a little extra speed boost. Get down to the yellow line early. Stay off of it, obviously. Just hold it. Just going to stay really close to the yellow line for entry. You don't want to be too far up. Just keep it, hold the steering wheel completely still. Car slid just a tiny bit up there. I didn't really want it. As we come up, let the car take you up about a lane and a half and then straighten out the wheel fairly quickly. You want to get the front tires completely straight as early as possible. Okay, we're going to head back down to the yellow here so that we have a very shallow entry yet again. Keep it right by there. Again, we're just going to hold the wheel as straight as or as still as possible. Then as the car brings us back up the track again, we're just going to straighten out the wheels as early as possible. Now I'm going to come all the way back down early. I want to be on here before the Geico restart zone and then start finish line. And hopefully that is a decent time. I'm sure people are better than that. There are some pretty good super speedway qualifiers out there, but that's the kind of the extent of my knowledge, and I think that's going to get you most of the way there. In terms of racing, if you've watched any of my videos on this exact same combo, you've heard it a million times. I really think that you should make your presence known at the front, make a reputation for yourself in the race, tell people that you are good at bump drafting, you're good at receiving bump drafts, and they will be more willing to work with you as it gets later in the race. I think that if you're just in the back the entire race, what's going to happen is everyone's going to want to be at the front at the end, so who's going to let you get there? So you might as well make your presence known early. But other than that, that should just be about what you need for qualifying. So have fun at Daytona, and I will have fun here in real life. So that'll be really cool. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you all on the track.